My closest friend always stood up for me in public, until one private conversation revealed what they had really been saying behind my back. From the outside, our friendship looked perfect. We were always together, always laughing, always supporting each other in front of everyone. If anyone ever said something about me, they were the first to shut it down, the first to defend me, the first to make sure I never looked bad in a room full of people. And because of that, I trusted them completely. Not just as a friend, but as someone who genuinely had my back. That kind of trust isn't built overnight. It comes from consistency. From moments that prove again and again that someone is on your side, and they had proven it over and over. That's why I never questioned anything. Not their words, not their intentions, nothing. If anything, I felt lucky, because not everyone has a friend like that. Someone who protects your name even when you're not around. Or at least, that's what I believed. The change didn't happen suddenly. It never does. It started with small things. Subtle shifts that were easy to ignore if you didn't want to create doubt where none seemed to exist. They became slightly more distant in private, not in a way that felt obvious. Just less open than before. Conversations felt shorter, less genuine, but the moment we were around others, everything went back to normal. Smiles, jokes, support, like nothing had changed. I noticed it, but I didn't question it. Because people have phases. People get busy. Not everything means something deeper. That's what I told myself. And for a while, that explanation worked, until one day made it impossible to ignore. It happened by accident. I wasn't trying to listen. I wasn't looking for anything. I was just in the wrong place at the right time. I had gone back to grab something I had forgotten, and that's when I heard voices from the next room. Familiar voices. One of them was theirs. I paused without thinking. Not because I expected anything, just because I recognized the sound. At first, it sounded normal. Casual conversation, the kind you don't pay attention to, but then my name came up, and something about the tone made me stop completely. It wasn't supportive. It wasn't protective. It was different. I stayed still, listening without meaning to. And within seconds, I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. It wasn't a joke taken out of context. It was clear, direct, honest in a way I had never heard before. They weren't defending me. They were questioning me, talking about my choices, my behavior, my personality, not with concern, not with care, but with a tone that felt almost critical, dismissive. Like I was someone they tolerated in public, but judged in private. My chest tightened as I stood there completely silent, because the person I was hearing didn't match the person I thought I knew. Not even close. They laughed at things I had trusted them with, shared details I had told them in confidence, turned moments I thought were safe into something else entirely. And the worst part wasn't what they were saying. It was how natural it sounded. Like this wasn't new. Like this was something that had been happening for a long time. Something I had just never seen. I stepped back quietly before they could notice me. My thoughts felt heavier than anything I had experienced before. Not angry, not loud. Just clear. Because betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from the people you trusted the most. The people you never thought to question. When I saw them again later, everything looked the same. They smiled, acted normal, spoke to me like nothing had happened. And for a moment, I just watched them, trying to understand how someone could be two completely different people at the same time. Then I realized something that changed everything. The version of them I trusted was real, just not the whole truth. And for the first time, I didn't respond the way I usually would. I didn't match their energy. I didn't pretend everything was fine, because once you hear the truth, you can't go back to believing the version that felt comfortable. You see things for what they are, and sometimes that's enough to change everything without saying a single word.